Do you ever find yourself nodding along to someone's pitch or agreeing to something you initially had reservations about? From the subtle nudges of cognitive advertising making us buy things we don't need, to the psychological techniques employed by friends and colleagues, it often feels like our decisions are being shaped without our conscious awareness. But how? How do they manage to change our minds without us even realizing it? The book, PRESuasion, by Robert Cialdini, answers all these questions. Here is a quick summary of the book. Let's start. 1. Priming the mind. Think of priming as laying the groundwork before sowing seeds in a garden. Just as a farmer prepares the soil for optimal growth, communicators prepare the minds of their audience before delivering their message. In communication, priming means creating a context that makes your audience more open to what you're about to say. This could involve tapping into shared values, invoking common experiences, or highlighting mutual goals. It's not about manipulation, but rather understanding the psychological mechanisms that influence how we perceive information. Imagine you're about to introduce a new project idea to your team. Before diving into the details, you start the meeting by reminiscing about a past successful collaboration everyone participated in. By doing so, you're priming their minds, creating a positive atmosphere, and reminding them of their capability to work together effectively. 2. Creating associations. Think of creating associations like building bridges between ideas in your audience's mind. It's about connecting what you're saying with concepts or emotions they already relate to. Imagine you're discussing the benefits of a new exercise program. Instead of diving straight into the details, you should mention the feeling of accomplishment after completing a challenging task, or the satisfaction of reaching a personal goal. These familiar feelings act as a foundation for introducing the exercise program, making it easier for your audience to understand and relate to the benefits you're discussing. However, creating associations requires a deep understanding of your audience's preferences, beliefs, and experiences. It's about finding common ground and using it to your advantage. 3. The power of unity. The power of unity is a concept that underscores the importance of emphasizing togetherness and shared objectives within a community or group. Rather than focusing solely on individual interests or arguments, it highlights the collective sense of purpose and belonging that binds people together. In practical terms, employing the power of unity involves using language that promotes inclusion and teamwork. Instead of focusing on individual perspectives, I or you, inclusive language such as we or us is used to underscore the idea that everyone is part of the same team. This linguistic shift creates a sense of solidarity and collective responsibility, encouraging active participation and engagement from all members. Picture yourself spearheading a community initiative to enhance local parks. Instead of just rattling off benefits or relying solely on data, you kick things off by evoking a shared identity. As residents of this community, our parks are more than just green spaces. They're our collective backyard, where our kids play and our families come together. This approach doesn't just make an argument, it reframes the initiative as an embodiment of shared identity and communal values. It shifts the focus from my idea or your contribution to our mission. 4. Contrast principle. The contrast principle sheds light on how our perceptions and decisions are heavily influenced by the context of comparison rather than individual assessment. In essence, we tend to evaluate the attractiveness of an option not solely based on its own qualities, but rather in comparison to other available choices. Think of it as our brains taking mental shortcuts when processing information. When presented with options, the contrast between them serves as a guiding factor in our decision-making process. Consequently, one option may appear more appealing simply because it is juxtaposed with less desirable alternatives. Effectively understanding and utilizing the contrast principle entails recognizing that our perceptions can be molded by how information is presented. It involves acknowledging that the way options are framed significantly impacts how they are perceived and evaluated by individuals. 5. Reciprocity and social proof. Reciprocity and social proof are two powerful principles that play key roles in influencing human behavior and decision-making. Reciprocity operates on the principle of mutual exchange and cooperation within social groups. It's our innate tendency to feel obligated to repay acts of kindness or favors that others have done for us. This social norm fosters positive interactions and relationships by creating a cycle of give and take. When someone does something for us, whether it's a small gesture or a significant favor, we feel compelled to reciprocate, thus strengthening social bonds and fostering trust within communities. Social proof, on the other hand, capitalizes on our tendency to look to others for guidance when we're uncertain about how to think, feel, or behave in a particular situation. It's the idea that we're more likely to adopt certain behaviors or beliefs if we see others endorsing or practicing them. When we observe others engaging in a specific behavior or expressing a particular belief, especially if they're perceived as similar to us or credible sources, it provides us with social validation and reassurance. This social validation influences our decision-making process, making us more inclined to align our actions or opinions with those of others. When combined, reciprocity and social proof become potent tools in persuasion. They leverage fundamental aspects of human behavior and social dynamics to influence our choices and actions. By appealing to our natural inclination to reciprocate kindness and our tendency to follow the lead of others, these principles highlight the importance of community and shared experiences in shaping our behavior and decisions. 6. Scarcity and loss aversion. Scarcity is all about valuing things more when they're rare. When something's hard to get, we naturally want it more. Loss aversion, on the other hand, refers to our tendency to strongly prefer avoiding losses over acquiring equivalent gains. In other words, we are more motivated to avoid losing something we already have than to acquire something of equal value. When scarcity and loss aversion are combined, they create a potent psychological force that significantly impacts our behavior and choices. By emphasizing the limited availability of a product, service, or opportunity, and highlighting the potential loss or deprivation associated with not taking immediate action, individuals are motivated to act swiftly to avoid missing out. This sense of urgency is amplified by our innate aversion to loss, as the fear of losing access to something valuable outweighs the pleasure of gaining it. 7. Authority and credibility. Authority and credibility are two essential components of persuasion that highlight our natural inclination to trust and value information coming from sources perceived as experts or trustworthy. Authority refers to the influence wielded by individuals who are perceived as experts or possess significant knowledge or experience in a particular field. When we encounter advice or instructions from someone we consider an authority figure, we are inclined to listen and follow their guidance because we trust their expertise and believe they know what they're talking about. Credibility, on the other hand, pertains to the trustworthiness of a source. It reflects our confidence in the honesty, reliability, and integrity of the person delivering a message. It's like when you have a friend who's always honest and reliable. You're more likely to believe what they say, right? Together, authority and credibility are like the power duo of persuasion. They remind us that who delivers a message matters just as much as what's being said. When we perceive someone as both an authority in their field and trustworthy, we are more inclined to pay attention to their message and take it seriously. 8. Commitment and consistency. Commitment is when you decide on a course of action, like choosing a new healthy eating plan or publicly supporting a local charity. This decision marks a point where you've made a stand, and it sets the stage for what comes next. Consistency is our psychological companion that nudges us to keep our actions in line with our decisions. It's like having an inner guide that says, "You've made this choice, now let's stay the course." This dance between commitment and consistency has a big role in how we persuade ourselves and others. When we make a small commitment, it opens the door to bigger ones that are in harmony with our initial step. It's not just about sticking to our guns, it's about creating a smooth path for our journey, one that feels right because it aligns with our earlier choices. If you have made it this far, comment down below with the word 100% to confirm that you have received the knowledge from this video. For more interesting topics, make sure you watch the recommended video that you see on the screen right now. Thanks for watching.